Welcome to Iconic Movie Reviews. My name is Shane, and today I'm going to be reviewing Predator 2. Predator 2 stars Danny Glover, Gary Busey, and a young Bill Paxton. This movie was directed by Stephen Hopkins, who you may know from directing A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. So this movie came out in 1990 and is a futuristic portrayal of LA in 1997. Ooh. So I absolutely love this movie after watching it, and I'll be honest, I never watched this movie before. This is the first time I actually seen it, so it was fantastic. And to give you a little bit of perspective, Stephen Hopkins actually had 4 weeks to shoot this movie and 4 weeks to edit it. Blam! Respect. Not months, not years, but it took him weeks to make this movie. That's fantastic. So the movie takes place, like I said, in 1997. We get introduced to Danny Glover's character, Mike Harrigan. And Mike Harrigan portrays a LAPD lieutenant who shows up on the scene amidst a Colombian and police department shootout. And there's a couple of downed officers, and Mike Harrigan screams in with his car with some bulletproof vests on the window and allows the officers to be rescued. This sets up our character in a way that shows us that this guy actually cares about not only the police department but people around him. This was missed in The Predator. Now Dutch, the character that Arnold Schwarzenegger portrays in the original Predator, is not in this movie. And there's a reason for that. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a dilemma. He was thinking, do I make Predator 2 or do I make Terminator 2? And history will tell that, Arnold, you made a fantastic decision. John McTiernan was supposed to direct Predator 2, but he opted out and said, instead, I'm going to direct The Hunt for Red October. Another fantastic movie, great decision there. Arnold was quoted as saying that he actually never liked the director Stephen Hopkins and didn't like the script because it was in LA. Originally, this movie was going to be filmed in New York, with the Predator raising up a skull in the Chrysler building amidst a lightning strike. But because of budget constraints, they decided to film it in LA. So, what are the things I don't like about this movie? Some of the things I don't like about it, before I found out the budgetary constraints, was the effects. Some of them are a little bit cheesy, but when you understand it took them 4 weeks to edit this thing, it gets an automatic pass. That's fine, fantastic. Danny Glover's character, Mike Harrigan, you actually believe that the character cares about people, and when his partner gets killed by a predator, he actually is on a vendetta. He is on a revenge quest to actually go after and kill the predator. Gary Busey's character, Keys, actually intervenes and says to Mike Harrigan, do not kill the predator because we want to actually capture him. And they actually set up a trailer so that they can actually bait the predator to go into this. It's actually a warehouse. And they developed a technology upon doing some research, tracking the predator, all this kind of stuff. They actually wear these camouflage, or these suits that have no heat. They're basically thermal proof suits so that the predator can't see them. And that actually was a complicated scene for the director to film, and it's a great scene in the movie. If you haven't seen Predator 2 yet, I suggest that you watch it. But anyways, Keys says to Mike Harrigan, do not kill the predator, we want to capture him. And upon some research, he's watched this predator in different countries, including Korea and all this kind of stuff. And they figure out that this creature hunts for sport. A little bit of background story, Dutch, from the original character, actually ends up in the hospital, which we don't see, but this is what I found out in some research. That Dutch actually ended up in the hospital because of some chemical radiation from the bomb explosion from the original movie Remember when the Predator detonated himself? Well, there's some causality to that. And Dutch's character ends up in hospital. Keyes goes to visit, and Dutch tells him everything about the Predator. I kind of wish they showed a little bit of that, but how do you reprise that role without Arnold Schwarzenegger? Gary Busey was originally going to portray Dutch, but obviously it worked out that he didn't play Dutch. Thank God for that. But this is a fantastic movie. It's got a fantastic story. They're actually trying to capture this Predator. And there's one scene in this movie where the Predator, we actually see inside the Predator ship, and there's a bunch of different skulls, and one of the skulls was an alien skull. And I think that set the movie franchise to do a crossover with the Alien series. That scene alone is actually fantastic. So a little bit of background, and I'll wrap this up real quick. If you don't know anything about the Predator is a race of creatures that actually go to different worlds to hunt different species that are worthy of being killed. Because if they get a worthy prey, they will be blooded. And that's a ritual that comes out of, again, upon some research. Their goal is to become blooded. That's why you see the Predator in a situation where there's someone around him, they don't have weapons, the Predator's not going to kill that person because it's not a worthy kill. So that is portrayed throughout different movies, that unarmed people don't get killed. So it's fantastic. Love it. Love the story, all that kind of stuff. It has a great finale. Again, if you haven't seen this movie, I actually strongly encourage you to watch the original Predator, and I encourage you to see Predator 2. I haven't watched Predators yet. I'm probably going to watch it sometime today, and I'll do a review of that one tomorrow, hopefully. So if you've seen the Predator, feel free to comment below. Let me know your thoughts on it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and thanks for watching.